I'd like to take a moment here to introduce Lawrence to you all. Since 1990, Lawrence has been a student of Grandmaster Patrick Lee, practicing his Tai Chi and moving meditation and cultivating Chi energy as a means to achieve Wuji, a state of harmony and balance that he'll talk about. For over 20 years, he has enjoyed instructing Tai Chi practitioners with development of their internal abilities of sensitivity, awareness, biomechanics, chi development to utilize, leverage, and power. He assists students in tapping and enhancing chi energy for internal and external body development. One major benefit among many for someone to enjoy better personal health and immunity. I personally love the part where through humor, humbleness, and empathy, he guides students in their self-discovery to maximize their inner abilities to attention focus, enhance their martial arts skills, find inner peace through periods of excitement or conflicts. And he is here today to tell us about his personal experience and viewpoints and to participants who wish to understand theories and principles through non-traditional teaching methods of Wuji. He does not focus on blindly repeating physical movements, rather clearly explaining why movements are done in a certain way to bring the mind, the body, spirit together to achieve the essence of the art. To share his wisdom and speak to us about achieving Wuji through Tai Chi, it is with gratitude I welcome to the Meditation Demystified stage Lawrence Kwock. Take it away, Lawrence.
Hello, everybody. Am I okay now, or do I have to press any more buttons? I'm good? Okay.
You're good.
Well, first of all, thank you. I want to acknowledge and thank you, my teacher, Lee, who's provided me with a method and guidance to where I'm at now. And he continues to guide me because we have these hour-plus long conversations, and we're doing things over the phone too. So he continues to guide me, and I appreciate that a lot. I want to also thank Dr. Randy Sugawara, who bowed out of this conference and prodded me to join Mahesh in this. If it goes well, I'll treat him out for coffee. If not, he has to treat me. I also want to thank Mahesh for putting on this forum. I know it's a lot of energy and a lot of effort on his part, so I want to acknowledge that, along with all his crew in the background. There's so many that I can't name them all, but my acknowledgement to you guys as well. And I want to also thank everybody who's attending this. They're probably looking at this meditation demystifying conference as hopefully something that will give them a little insight along their path. So I thank everybody for joining me, and I'm humbled that you want to even listen to me, because I'm a nobody that you've never heard of. So hopefully my goal in this is to present to you what I've experienced, some of the obstacles that I had to overcome, and what I have gained out of Wuji, Tai Chi, and the meditation that's part of all this. Taking my notes here. I have a lot of issues when I was in my work life. Pretty stressful job. I have 6 kids, so that also, when I come home, used to provide me with a lot of activities and get stressed out about that. But when I had 2 kids and I was bringing them to Gymboree, letting them de-stress and go wild, I found that I needed something to relieve my stress. So I went into this storefront. And inside was my teacher throwing this Filipino girl around. And I thought, what the heck is this? He said, oh, it's Tai Chi. That's not the Tai Chi I'm envisioning. I'm envisioning older folks gently moving slowly. And here I have this middle-aged gentleman throwing a short 4 feet 10, 5 feet Filipino girl around, and she's falling on the floor, slamming on the wall, and she pops right back up. And I'm trying to watch this, and my 2 little kids are crawling all over me because they're still jazzed up because of Jamboree. And I'm trying to hold them so that they don't run out into the floor and hurt themselves. But I'm trying to get mesmerized by what they're doing, and I had to actually come a couple times just to digest what was happening. And so I knew that if I went to learn Tai Chi, and it was the traditional method of memorizing all the steps, they've got some ancient, terminologies, labels on movements that I had no idea what the heck they were talking about. I think for Tai Chi practitioners, you always hear this lazy tie-down clothes. I'm sitting there looking at the move. I'm like, I have no idea how the heck this relates to the label of the move. So I was able to look at this Chen style Tai Chi that my teacher was showing, and it related to me because I'm from a martial arts background and I enjoyed activity. If you have me do things slow, like the senior method, the Yang style, I tend to fall asleep. And that's not good. Kind of defeats the purpose, but that's my personality. So I drifted towards this Chen style Tai Chi. And along the way, my teacher taught me a lot of the physical movements, physical stance, physical movements. We tested each other by pushing each other so I could feel force, physical force. And about 5 or 6 years, he suddenly looked at our classmates and myself and said, you know what, we're doing this wrong. We need to just forget all this stuff and let's go do the inner side. What the heck? I just learned your set. It's taken me how many years? Yeah. Don't worry about that. We're going to do the inner method, inner development. So that's when he started focusing a lot more on the meditative side. And I thought, oh God, I'm in trouble now because I'm going to start falling asleep. But I found out his method is a lot quicker method. We don't have to take 5 minutes, 10 minutes, half an hour to drop into this meditative state. And I think the previous speaker did mention the conscious awareness. Minds is also mindful awareness, but it's that heightened awareness that you want to feel. And my teacher's method seems to be very simple. He visualizes, tells you to visualize certain aspects of things, so that the visualization is not, hey, can you see it? Because a lot of times people, when they see things, they may doubt it or they may miss it. But when you visualize something, it's actually your mind also saying, that is my reality. That's what's happening. So you have a deeper sense of commitment and stuff. So by visualizing a lot of what he was telling me, turn on the light. Obviously, you have to practice this. So when we turn on the light, we're visualizing energy coming down the top of our head through our body to a Dan-10 area, which some of you listeners may know where that is. But for those who don't, it's the axis going vertical down from the top of your head down to the bottom. It's a horizontal axis going from one kidney to the other. And it's that midsection where the intersection of all those axes is. It's in that general area is what I would call Dan-10 now. There's a lot of other practitioners that have many more Dantens and all that, but that's my main reservoir, Danten. So when we turn on the light there, it's just you visualizing that there's a white light, and that white light glows, and it may be like a pea, or it may glow so big because you got, instead of an incandescent bulb, you have an LED light. Now it's glowing all the way, and you even feel it maybe glowing outside your body. But the idea is to be able to turn that, just like the light switch, on and off immediately whenever you need it, because maybe you've practiced it enough so that your body already is calm. We do have a breath, but we do it as ayah. So if you inhale, that is kind of follows similar to Buddhism chants a little bit, but I equate it to when I'm darn tired and I'm standing in the shower and I'm relaxing, de-stressing, my body just drops, my shoulder drops, everything just becomes like a rice sack, and I just go, ah. So that mimics that feeling, and your body remembers that's what you're trying to do, and you're turning on the light, and you just say that a few times. My body tends to relax, and my awareness is heightened. Not only inside, what do I feel?
Hey, Lawrence, sorry. Your audio is muted, Lawrence.
I think his phone call dropped, which is how we're getting the audio. So
Let me check in with him.
yeah.
He doesn't know that, unfortunately.
It's a great time for meditation.
I was able to get a hold of him, luckily, so he'll be joining us back. Thank you all.
Hi, I'm back. Can you hear me? Oh, well, I guess this for the better since you don't have to hear my big long story. I don't know where I left off or actually where you guys dropped off or my audio dropped off. But any case, I've gone through a lot of process and I was talking about turning on the light when I was doing my Tai Chi in the Wuji stance and being able to practice this just throughout my daily life, having that sense of the light turning on inside in my dantian area and glowing outside the body. So I have a heightened awareness and I'm mindful in that moment, enjoying it. And throughout the whole process of doing my Tai Chi set, I try to, as much as I could, remember to turn on that light in any of the movements. And gradually what happened is throughout the course of the movements, my meditative state got longer and longer. And the meditative state, in case you did not hear what I was saying before, is like Kobe Bryant, Stephen Curry, LeBron James, when they shoot a basketball and they could walk away and know that that basketball is going through the hoop right when the ball left their hands, It's that feeling, and try to recreate it every time. May not happen because situations may change, criteria change, but in that moment, it worked. And can't explain it, maybe not replicate it, but we try to replicate it. That's that Wuji mindful moment, being in the zone, being in harmony. And what I relate to it is that on a health wise, I've had 3 heart operations. I had to have stents put in, but I was very fortunate in that because of the heightened awareness, what's happening inside my body, I can feel that there was something not correct. And fortunately, when I went to go see the doctors, they were able to perform the surgery, and I came out 3 times with no heart illness or heart damage. So I really am fortunate. But I do equate it to this meditation, Tai Chi, the heightened awareness of what's happening in my body. And so there's a benefit for those listeners who are thinking, what kind of meditation should I use? There are many different types, and you can apply it, I think, universally. And then besides the health side, I am also using this meditative state, being in the zone, being in Wuji, on a martial arts application. And I joke because people seeing movement so slow, and they may see the videos where there's an MMA fighter that just pummels a Tai Chi master, and everybody's going, this Tai Chi stuff, I'm not so sure that's the right thing for me. But I am not saying that I am an expert, but it's helped me be more aware. So when I'm either pushing hands or actually having somebody lunge or punch at me, your awareness happens before the physical contact. And in some cases, if I'm aware and I walk away or I avoid and walk across the street because maybe I don't feel comfortable walking in one direction or something at me, it's that awareness and that trust that I have in what I feel, so that maybe I did avoid a situation. If I happen to be in a class and the student decides, okay, we're going to go try this movement out, I want to know what it's for, and I usually invite them to punch me, and I apply that movement. It's almost like if I'm in the Wuji state already, or I'm in the calm state, it's not anticipating the move or the punch coming, but more of feeling it. And so when you can feel that punch come, you're able to have your defense mechanisms come up. And I've been very lucky that sometimes I feel that I have a long time to digest what's going to happen because my awareness is early, so that I have time to make a reaction or have a reaction. And then once it happens, it's like on to the next. So it's a constant flow of this feeling. So I've been very fortunate to see how the meditation has helped me with my awareness, being able to feel things inside my body, outside my body. And now I'm in the process to try to, as much as I can, bring this in my everyday life. When I'm washing dishes, when I'm walking, think about my danten, turn on my light, I'll feel my body relax, and I'll still be in motion, but I'll still be in that zone. And if I'm in the heightened awareness, mindfulness, I'm enjoying that moment. The only time that my teacher has told me not to do this is when I'm driving. You don't want to be relaxed and zone out unless you're in a Tesla or something like that. But other than that, I try to do it as much as I could. And I find that as I do the light, it's maybe, it could last 5 seconds, it can last a minute, it can last whatever, a few more seconds longer. If you repeat doing this throughout the 18 hours that you're awake, it actually accumulates. I feel that my body is able to cultivate energy, chi energy, a lot more. We have a reservoir to keep all this and to use it when we need it. But if you ask me to stand, maybe spend an hour in the morning or afternoon or evening to stand and do the meditation, I actually don't cultivate as much because I make excuses. I get pulled away to do something. I don't do it regularly. But if I'm practicing this every moment that I'm reminding myself, oh, I just need a recharge, and I just do it. I feel that accumulating all this during my daily lifestyle, I actually gain more energy. So I'm grateful for this method of finding Wuji through Tai Chi using meditation, both health as martial artists. And hopefully the listeners can relate to my issues because I'm a fidgety person. I overthink things. I have short attention span sometimes, and I found that other methods were difficult to achieve this balanced state. So my meditation works for me. I hope the listeners find their method of meditation. And I think this conference is a wonderful way of introducing all this different methods to listeners. I invite you to open up to questions. Hopefully I've stimulated some ideas or questions, and I hope Mahesh was able to invite questions, or if there are any questions, pass them over through to me on the question and answer session. But since I'm retired now in Morgan Hill in San Jose, I've got a lot of time to respond back.
Thank you, Lawrence. Thank you for sharing your lovely story. And thank you, Randy, for inviting you. Or I know he's on vacation right now in Hawaii and couldn't make it here, but I'm glad.
What a guy. I'm sure he's doing his meditation out there.
Sure. And I'll leave it open for some questions. If anybody wants to join us here on the panel stage to either ask a question, feel free to go down to the bottom of your Zoom screen. There's a little option with a smiley face on there, and there's a button there that says raise hand. If you want to ask a question live on video, you can raise your hand through that Zoom button option and we'll bring you on. And additionally, if there's any questions that you can or you want to post on chat, that's perfect as well.
If anybody wants to ask me about all the animal pictures in the room, that's a unique room. We just moved into the house, and there's a room that has all the different types of animals. It's a Noah's Ark room, so there's 2 of each type of animals.
Lovely. It does look very colorful and alive in there. And it's really and it's really interesting. Dan, who was also earlier talking about meditation and talking about bringing it into our daily practice of doing laundry and folding clothes and doing dishes, and you also brought that into your practice. And also giving people a little bit of an insight into what that is. And I can follow up with a question, but especially with the Wuji and the Tai Chi, you know, when we think of Tai Chi, like you were saying, it's slow movements. And it's really about connecting with the energy, with the chi, with the dantian. Again, the same question I sort of asked Dan is how do you feel and how do you know that you are in that zone? You know, of course, when it comes externally, that's a different thing. But in meditation or in Wuji, how do you recognize being in that meditative state?
To me, the question to me,
Yes, Lawrence.
for me personally, when I'm in the Wuji stance or state and have a heightened awareness, I am able to sense a lot of different issues inside my body. Maybe I'm tired, or maybe something's not feeling right. Maybe an organ is kind of acting up, or a muscle is too tight. And I'm also aware of, like, sometimes we stand out in the park and I can hear birds, car honking, other people's conversation. And it's that scanning mode. It's not a particular attention to one issue. If I do that, then I'm totally focused on that issue and I'm missing the bigger picture. But when I know that I have all this input, my mind is now active and it's not falling asleep, but it's almost like a recorder. It just records everything. I don't try to analyze a lot. I just record. And later on, when I'm out of the state and I say, gee, I remember certain things that I felt, then I'll go back and my analytical mind picks up. But during that Wuji state, while I'm meditating, it's just my feelings that I'm aware of, and being in a calm state. But once I think of certain things and I focus on something, I can pop out of this zone, if you will, and have to remind myself, no, no, no. The idea is to stay calm and let things happen. Don't try to force anything, and go with the flow. So that's my feeling. Does that answer your question, Mish? Or did I dodge it?
Well, it's more for the people here who are also listening in. And sometimes when, even in my personal practice, when meditating, it's not a linear phase, right? It's not like, hey, because you get better, you just keep going up. Sometimes it's up and down, and sometimes it's really conflicting as to, you know, am I doing this right? Is this the way it's supposed to feel? What does growth mean in terms of meditation? And, you know, in talking to Dan as well, he said the same thing, which is, you know, there is no good, there is no bad, there is no right, there is no wrong. There's only good and better. And it so makes sense even to what you are speaking to over here. So thank you so much for your wisdom, your story, and for doing what you do for the length of time that you've been doing it. And again, if anybody wants to connect with Lawrence, his information is available on our schedule page. If you check into his profile, you can reach out to him for any questions or any specifics on his practice. Also, he has additional material that we weren't able to share on the call today. That is an article by his master. Is that right, Lawrence? By your teacher?
He's my teacher, but he's also known as a grandmaster because we do have other students that have gone on and taught other students. So he would be considered a grandmaster.
And you can either reach out directly to Lawrence or let me know, and I can make sure that you get those materials to review.
Yeah, the article is pretty good. It's about Wuji and Tai Chi, but it talks about what you may need to select a good teacher, to find the method that is good for you. So there's some good ideas and tips that my teacher has put into this 2006 article. So I hope people trying to look for the right method, the right meditation, the right teacher may want to look at that article and get some ideas from there.
Yeah, and possibly you, Lawrence. They might reach out to you for some.
I'll probably make them laugh and divert the whole issue, and then they'll forget what they were asking.
Oh, you're so humble. Thank you. Thank you, Lawrence. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for the opportunity.